All right, let's get right into it. You ever notice how some health messages, they hit different? They feel super urgent, really personal, and just incredibly persuasive? Well, there's a reason for that. It's a formula. And today we're going to pull back the curtain and dissect that formula piece by piece. I mean, it's a weirdly common feeling, right? You're just scrolling through your phone, minding your own business, and boom, an ad pops up that seems to be talking directly to you, to that little nagging worry you've had tucked away in the back of your mind. It's almost like they can read your thoughts. But, as you've probably guessed, it isn't mind reading, it's not magic, it's actually a very carefully constructed, time-tested formula, and it's designed to do three things: identify a problem, stir up your anxiety about it, and then, right on cue, swoop in with the perfect solution. So let's break it down.
So, the blueprint we're looking at here is called the Problem Agitation Solution Framework. A lot of marketers just call it PAS. It's a super simple but, oh my gosh, incredibly effective three-act structure. You can think of it like a mini story where you are the main character, and the entire journey is designed to lead you to one very specific conclusion.
Okay, so step one. Every good story needs a hook, right? In the PAS framework, that hook is the problem. And the goal here isn't to diagnose some super rare, complex disease. No. The goal is to pinpoint a problem that feels incredibly common, something a massive number of people can immediately relate to. So the pitch usually starts with these really general symptoms. Things like feeling tired, maybe some swelling, or, noticing changes in your urine. I mean, who hasn't felt tired? These are intentionally vague. They're designed to cast the absolute widest net possible, getting millions of people to stop and think, that sounds a little like me. And once you're nodding along, the script is this really clever little trick. It takes those common fuzzy symptoms and attaches them to a specific and kind of scary-sounding condition: chronic kidney disease. All of a sudden, feeling tired isn't just because you stayed up too late. Now, it's a potential sign of something way more serious. And this right here, this is the next critical move. It introduces the idea of a hidden, silent threat. This just raises the stakes enormously. It's not just a problem, it's a problem you could have right now and be totally unaware of. The seed of worry has officially been planted. Now, let's move into Act 2. This is where things get really interesting. This is the agitation phase. See, it's not enough to just tell you there's a problem. A really effective pitch has to make you feel the problem deep in your gut. Its job is to turn that little seed of worry into a full-blown, urgent fear. And here is where they turn up the heat. The script starts painting this really grim picture of what could happen if you don't do something. Look at that list of complications. We're not talking about vague stuff anymore. These are real, serious health issues. The script is basically drawing a straight line from feeling tired all the way to heart disease. And the agitation builds to this climax, this really clear, terrifying path. The script lays it all out for you. It starts with those early signs that got your attention. Then it moves to the really scary complications we just saw, and it all ends with the absolute worst-case scenario: kidney failure. It creates this powerful feeling of being on a downward spiral that you have to stop. So the whole point of this agitation phase is to spark an emotional shift. It's designed to take you from thinking, I am a little tired, to feeling, oh my God, I need to do something about this right now before it's too late. It literally manufactures a sense of urgency. And then, just when your anxiety is cranked up to a 10, the whole narrative does a complete 180. We enter the final act, the solution. After building up all that tension and all that fear, the script suddenly throws you a lifeline. It offers you a way out of that scary downward spiral it just spent all that time creating.
And what a pivot it is. Look at this. Every single fear they just introduced is now directly matched with a word of hope. The fear of damage is met with the promise of support. The threat of complications gets answered with protection. And that ultimate fear, failure, is countered with a simple, calming, natural solution. It's a perfect emotional release valve.
And there it is. The hero of our story finally arrives. But notice the language here. That's why we created. It makes the product sound like it wasn't just sitting on a shelf. No, it was a specialized solution, purpose-built to solve the exact problem you're now so worried about. Now, at this point, you're probably feeling a little skeptical, and the script knows that, so it immediately deploys these little trust signals, phrases like science-backed or trusted by thousands, and these official-looking acronyms.
They're all mental shortcuts designed to build credibility and get you to lower your guard without having to get into any messy, complicated data.
So, the stage is perfectly set. You get the problem, you feel the urgency, and you've just been introduced to a solution that seems trustworthy. The only thing left to do is to tell you exactly what to do next. This is the call to action, and it needs to be crystal clear and really, really compelling.
The instruction couldn't be more direct. Visit the website. But look how they frame it. Using the word today creates that feeling of immediacy, and then claim your exclusive offer. That adds a whole other layer of urgency. It's not just an invitation, it's a special opportunity that you might miss if you wait.
You know, this line right here is just brilliant. It's a masterclass in marketing because it shuts down the two biggest reasons you might hesitate. If you're only a little worried, well, it's never too early. If you're terrified it's already too late, it reassures you it's never too late. It basically corners you, leaving no good reason for inaction.
And the whole thing ends on this powerful, empowering command: take control. This is so clever because it completely reframes the purchase. You're not just a customer buying a product anymore. You are now an empowered person taking charge of your own health. It makes you feel proactive and strong, not scared and reactive.
So let's just recap the whole playbook really quick. First, the problem. Create relatability with vague, common symptoms. Second, agitation. Create urgency by mapping out a scary path to a worst-case scenario. And third, the solution. Create hope by introducing a hero product to save the day. Simple, right?
But here is the real takeaway. This formula, it's not just for health ads. Now that you know what it is, you're going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere. In political speeches, in ads for financial services, heck, even in commercials for laundry detergent. Problem, agitation, solution is one of the most powerful and common tools of persuasion out there. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. Knowing this playbook doesn't mean every product using it is bad or that all the claims are false. Not at all. But it does give you a new tool, a new lens to see these messages through. It lets you separate the emotional journey they're trying to take you on from the actual facts. So the next time you hear a pitch that sounds familiar, what are you going to be listening for?